I'm going to be making a scene from Wizard of Oz today. I've got this round mould as that's going to be my base, and I've got this house tea light holder, which is going to be Dorothy's house. So we'll just pop that one to one side for a minute. And I'm going to be using the Let's Resin mica powders that Let's Resin kindly sent me. And I've picked out some colours. I've got dark green and lawn green, and I've got yellow and gold. So I'm going to start off, let's put that out of the way. Oh, I do need the house back. So I want my house to sit about there. So I'm going to draw out a line with some of the gold mica powder first. Oops, let's get these open. So just getting that off of there. Oops. Right, so with a brush, I'm just going to mark out where I want my yellow brick road to be. So I think I'll have that coming down like that maybe. So anything this side of the line is going to be yellow and gold. Right, so I can get rid of that again now, and then just fill all this in with the gold. So I'll just quickly do this, and then I'll come back to you once this is done. So now that gold has all been done, I'm going to go in next with the dark green, and then cover in the rest of the tray with this one. So I'm just going to burnish this on all over the rest of the tray. So you probably don't need to see me do this to all of this tray. So I'll get this bit done as well, and then I'll see you back for the next bit. So now that's all covered in those two colours, I want it to have a bit more, be more two-tone looking. So I'm going to use the technique that I saw Wendy use on Timpish Craft, and that's just scrumpling up some tape and then taking off some of the mica powder with that. So I'm just going to go all the way around this tray with the tape. Probably shouldn't have put gloves on, that was a bit daft, wasn't it? Sticking to everything. But I'm just going to go around like that. So I'm just going to do this all over the tray, and then I'll be back for the next bit. So now I've gone all over the tray with the tape and taken off bits in certain areas. That's how it's looking. So now I'm going to go in with the other colours, so the lawn green, and then just go straight back over the top. And then where I've taken areas off with the tape, the new green will show through where the tape's been taken off. So I'm going to do this for the green, and then the same again with the gold. So while I'm just quickly doing this, I'll just mention that this video today is part of the Wizard of Oz collaboration that's been organised by myself and Susie from Serendipity Resin Creations, Tina from Pour Resin with Love, and Amy from Resonating Art by Amy. And there's lots of lovely artists that have joined in with this collaboration today, and there will be a playlist in the description box, so jump on that and watch all the other videos that have been made for this. That's all covered. So I just need to mix up some resin now, and then we can get pouring. I've mixed up some Let's Resin 1:1, and I'm going to add to that some of the DecoRom black pigment paste. So I'm gonna put a helping of that into there. I think that will probably be enough. And then get that nicely mixed in. Scraping around the sides. Make sure you've got no unmixed pigment there. So I'm just going to give this a good mix, and then I'll see you back for pouring. So now this is all mixed in, I'm just going to really slowly pour it round the edge of the mould first of all, because it's got all those balls to fill into. Lots of detail around that outside edge. So just letting the resin find its own way, not rushing it, and then fill in the rest. So I'll just start around this side now. Hopefully I've made enough resin. Maybe I'll just do around the edges first. Get those filled in. And then if I need to top it up, I can just put some in the middle. There we go. Oh, that was lucky. I didn't think I was going to have enough. So I think that was 300 ml for this. I think it's just enough. Right, so I'm just going to get my cigarette lighter. Just give that a quick torch on the top. Pop any of those bubbles. Just going to leave this to cure now, and then I'll see you back for demould. This is all cured up now, so let's pop this one out and see how it's looking. Just pop that to one side for a minute. Right, okay, that's looking all right. I like the different colours in there with that effect from Wendy. Right, so we'll pop that to one side now as well. Now we need to make the house. I'm going to be using Let's Resin Magic Pour for the house, and this is normally mixed to a ratio of 3:1, but I'm just going to eyeball it today, because I don't need to make up very much. And once you have used these eco pours for a while, you do get to know the consistency that you need. So let's just get that mixed in. Need a bit more powder. You want it to be like a sort of batter-like consistency. So just going to get that mixed in, and it is quite forgiving either way. If you want to do something like marbling, it's often better to go on the thicker side. And if you've got a very thin, delicate mould with lots of detail in it, you can go a little bit thinner. Right, so just going to pour this into this mould. So let's top this one up. And then the same with this one. And I think I need to take this to the top. That one we'll probably do with a little bit more. And then same with this one. Some down this end and let it just flow naturally. That's that one. That probably needs a little bit more, that one. Right, let's mix up a little bit more. So same again, water in there, and then the powder. So what I'll do is I'll get this mixed up. I'm just going to pour some into this one, and then I'll see you back for demold. This is all cured up now, so let's pop all these bits out to the house. Oh, should come out simple enough. And I'm not worried about them saying love or anything on them, because I'm going to cover those up in a little while. So let's just get all these bits out first. Right, that's all those bits done. And I did know that I was going to need an extra front, back and roof. So I've already done those. So that's my 2 roof pieces. That's my 2 ends and my 2 sides. So that goes, does that go in there? Which way round does it go? Oh, do I need to trim them? Yeah, I think I'm going to need to. I think I've over poured it. So I'm just going to sand some of these down to get them to fit, and then I'll be back once they're ready. This is all ready now, and it all fits together nicely. It was just those 2 side bits that I had to rub down. So let's just take the roof off for a minute. Take that bit off as well. And I'm just going to use some of the Let's Resin UV bonding resin just to hold or tack this in place. Just hold it all together securely. So I'm just going to pop some of that in each of the joins and cure that. So this UV bonding resin doesn't take long to cure, only about 10 seconds. So it doesn't take long at all. So just a little smidgen of that in each corner, and then that'll be ready for the next bit. So I'm just going to tack this in place all the way round, just so it's nice and secure, and then I'll come back and we can do the next bit. This is all secure now, and I've just left off one piece of roof that I can still get into it and maybe put some lights in there. So next, Dorothy's little house was wooden, so I've got some lollipop sticks, and I thought I'd just give it some cladding. So I'm going to stick these using some Green Stuff World instant glue. So I'm just going to pop some of the glue on the back of that lollipop stick, and then place that onto there. And then next one, same thing, bit of glue on there, and then just work my way up. So I'm going to leave the windows, so I've got a little bit that can go in the middle there. I think that needs trimming down a bit, and I've just used a pair of scissors just to cut these. So I think that one will go there. So a bit of glue on the back there, and then place that there. And then I've got another lollipop stick to go up the top. So glue on that, and then put that into place. Hold that down, and then just finish off the sides that needs trimming. Cut that down a little bit, and then glue that down. Oh, I nearly stuck my fingers together then. So that's that side. Does that one fit? No, that needs a bit of trimming. Trim that down. Does that fit? No, still needs trimming. A bit more off of there. And then place that bit on, pop that into place. So that's the front, so that's how it's looking from the front. And then I've got some lollipop sticks to go on the roof as well. So same again, I'm just going to pop some glue on there and pop that onto the roof. So I'll just pop you on a quick fast forward while I do this. Right, so that's how it's looking from the front. So I'm just going to do the same now all the way round, and you don't need to see me doing that. So I'll quickly do that off camera and then I'll see you back for the next bit. This is all finished all the way round now, so that's it all cladded. So I think next it needs a bit of a whitewash. So I'm going to use the Fluids resin ink in the milk colour, and I'm just going to pop some of that into there. Not sure if I need to not water it down, but oh no, that'd be all right, just like that, straight out the bottle, I think. So we're just going to give this a bit of a whitewash, a bit of a lick of paint. And it's obviously been through the walls, so it doesn't have to be very neat. So I'm just going to do this all the way round. Maybe I shouldn't have used, maybe I should have just used paint. It's going to take quite a bit, isn't it, by the time it soaks in? But I think it'll be okay. I didn't want it to look white. I did want it to look a bit like washed out, so just going to go all the way round. I don't think you need to see me doing this all the way round, do you? So I'm just going to finish this bit off and then I'll be back for the next bit. This has all had a cover of white now, just a nice little whitewash. So I'm just going to go in now with some grey watercolour and just sort of rough it up a bit, really. Just give it a bit of texture-y highlights here and there, just so as it looks a bit rougher than what it was. After all, it has been through the ringer, hasn't it? So I'm just going to go over it with this. So I'll just pop you on a quick fast forward, I think, just while I quickly go round with some of this grey paint. That's Dorothy's house all finished now, so we can start setting the scene. So let's just pop that to one side for a minute. And first of all, before I start adding all these other bits, I've got some mossy stuff, some flowers, some stones, and I've got this bookmark from Temu that I'm going to use for the leggies. So I want to do some detail on the brick road. So I'm just going to use a black Posca pan and do a line first of all across where that join is, and follow that along across there and up over the edge there, and then using a thinner fine liner pan I'm just going to draw in some of the brickwork. Not particularly straight. Just going to do some curved lines to start with, and then I'll fill that in with the bricks like that. So I'll just quickly do this all over this yellow bit, and then I'll be back for the next bit. That's the brick road all finished now, and I did end up going over it with a slightly thicker pen. So next I've mixed up some epoxy resin, and I'm just going to pour a thin layer all over the tray, and then we can set in the house and the stones and bits. So let's just pop that in there. Probably just use all of that I made. I think I made up 100 mil. Right, and then I'm just going to swoosh that around just so it covers the entire base there. There we go. Right, so now I need to set my house into place. I think I'll just take that one off in case it falls off. So I want that to be about there, but it needs to be at an angle. So I need to set in some stones underneath. So I'm just going to push a couple underneath. Just use some quite large ones. Pop that under there. That needs to go a bit further forward. So it's sitting at an angle. I need it to be enough for those to fit underneath. So I'm just going to chop off some of that there. Don't need all of that bit there. So they should fit under there, then like that. Let's just bring you down at a different angle so you can see. And then I'm just going to place some more of the stones around underneath. There's some in there. And then a couple over here. Put some over this side. We'll just have maybe 3 over that side. And maybe a smaller one in front there. And let's space that out a bit there. And then put another little one there. And then I'm just going to use some of this moss and chop some of that up, and then just place that in between the stones. Chop a little bit more of that off. Oops, get off my fingies. Place that down into there. And then a little bit more, bless you, Mishka, over this side. So a bit in there. And a bit round the back there. Let's put those a bit more of an angle. Like that, I think. Is that enough moss? Let's just put another stone down there, I think. Put a couple more bits down into there. Just use my stick, I think, and then just put that down there. It's quite stringy, so as long as it's held down by the bottom, it's not going to go anywhere. And I think I'll put a little bit more down the back there. So a little bit more down there, I think. Right, okay. Actually, let me just put a little bit more down this other side as well. Put some down the back there. Right, so sorry about my dog. Just going to let this cure, and then I'll see you back for the next bit, and we can add some flowers. This is all cured up now, so that's how it's looking. And I did put some stones around the back there as well. So I think now we're going to add some of the little flowers, and I'm just going to use the Green Stuff World instant glue. So I think I'm just going to pop a bit of glue on the top of there and just use my tweezers. Just dip that into the glue. Oops. And then pop those. Oh, it's stuck onto my tweezers. Stuck. Oh, now it's stuck onto my finger. All right, let's start again. Let's do a different flower. Let's pick a yellow one. Let's see if I can just get the tip of that. And then place that into the moss. I think I need to clean my tweezers. Right, let's try this one again now. Pop that in there. No, I still got glue on there. Let's get some different tweezers. Right, and we'll have some, let's have that big red one. Pop some glue on there. And let's have a blue one. Dip that in the glue. And some pink ones. Oops. Dip that in. And we put that one there. So I'll just quickly pop some of these around on a quick fast forward, and then I'll see you for the last bit. I think that's all my flowers that I want to put on there. So let's just pop all that out the way before I stick everything together. Right, so next I've got this USB light with these, they're on a wire. So I'll just quickly plug that in. And then I'm going to pop that, let's take that roof off, and then I'll just pop those in the bottom of the house there, and then pop its little roof back on, and there's my little nightlight. So thank you ever so much for watching my video today, and please check out the playlist for all the wonderful videos that have been made for this themed collaboration on the Saturday Express train. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.